Welcome to Two Souls Podcast, a podcast to shift, impact, empower, and disrupt your consciousness, ultimately allowing you to thrive on this human journey. Now, here are your hosts, Amber Mengenhauser and Angela Blaha. Hey, Amber, how are you today?
Hey, I am fantastic. How are you?
Great. What's our topic for today?
Today we are going to talk about getting off the struggle bus. How can we shift our belief systems from lack to abundance?
The struggle bus, I like that.
We all been there at one point in time.
I know. How can we shift our lack to abundance? Well, first things first, we have to believe in abundance. We have to believe that we can and will and deserve to be abundant.
Yes, completely agree. That belief system is the number one key, believing that you deserve the abundance.
Yes. So, what are some of your old lack belief systems that you transformed?
Money for one, hands down money. I used to always struggle financially in my past. I never had enough. I completely lived paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes you wondered how you were even going to make it to your next paycheck. But when I shifted that I had enough for everything that I ever wanted, I literally have enough now for everything that I want. And if for some reason something comes up and I need money for something, it will randomly just show up for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I grew up in a house who believed that you had to work hard for every single thing that you got. And so that working hard mentality and belief systems, you don't have to work hard. I have not worked hard from the time I was probably 25 years old. After I figured that out, I was like, yeah, I don't have to work hard. It's dumb. And ever since,
that's
it's
so
just
true. Like, I think that.
Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
No, it's just been like, why would I need to work hard for anything? Like, literally, the world is abundant in everything that there is. And all you have to do is actually believe that you can create whatever you want, and you believe that work is easy. The one thing I do have to say about work is that I learned quickly that if I separated my work from my home life, from my family life, from my school life, that it was very, very hard. Life was hard because I had separation. I had separated everything into its own little category, and nothing really flowed together. And so that was hard. It was hard work then. What I learned was my life, the things that I do, like the jobs that I have, the personal life that I have, my family life that I have, everything flows together now. And I don't have any kind of separation between them. Not that I, work 24/7 or anything like that. I mean, I have boundaries. There's a difference between boundaries and belief systems that things have to be hard, or separation when you categorize things in your life and you don't have good that's why you have to categorize them, is because you don't have the ability to create boundaries. But if you have really good boundaries and you know yourself really well and you know what you need to thrive, then you don't, like, boundaries just become the norm instead of the hardships. So, but the boundaries are not hard, right? Like, for me, it was really all about knowing
Yeah.
and understanding who I am, creating those boundaries for myself, saying, okay, well, I don't work past, 10 o'clock at night, or I don't work in the morning until 10 a.m. Because it's my practices come before everything else. So those are the boundaries that I'm talking about. It's not hard work kind of boundaries. Those are just who I've become.
Yeah. I also used to do the same thing. I was taught to work hard and hard work pays off. But yeah, that is definitely not the case because who wants to work hard? Like it's as easy as hard as it's as easy or as hard as we make it. And when you do figure out that it's easy, you're right. Like everything just flows in together. Your work life is not separate from your whole life. And I mean they just everything flows together instead of because I was one of those people like I kept my work life separate from my personal life and it created so much separation in who I was because I felt like in a way you feel like you're two people because you're never you're not the same person at work that you are at home because you just have there's so many different boundaries there. So I definitely understand about keeping it separate versus just being you as a whole all the time.
Right. The next thing is to sort of understand what abundance is, right? So we understand lack, which is hardships, the things that we don't have, the worthiness or worthlessness, maybe is a better word. I don't know if that's a word, but the lack of worth. We understand those kinds of concepts, but do we understand our worth? Do we understand what no work is? Like it's just play for me now. Like I just get to play. um, do we understand like the abundance is that do we really understand what we desire? Because if you understand your desires, there's just abundance. Like that's the only thing that resides is the abundances. So defining or getting a better concept maybe or a better understanding of what abundance is versus just saying, well, I want to be abundant. But yet we don't have any idea about what that feels like or what it sounds like or like we have to use our senses in the beginning to sort of understand the abundances, and then you can move deeper into, well, you know if I want this in my life, all I have to do is believe in it. That's belief systems are the abundance.
Yes. And abundance isn't too, like sometimes we think, oh, abundance, and instantly you think financial, but it's not just about that. It's being abundant with everything that you have. So many good things coming. To me, abundance is you're attracting everything that you want, whether it's the right people, like minded people, just
Like art.
everything as yes, everything that you want, not just money to buy this or that. And also, abundant to me means I'm when you want to be abundant, you have to be very careful about the words that you use. I am very particular about some of the words that I use. I do not use things like broke. Like I would never say I am broke anymore. Whether I have $10 or $10,000, I will never ever be broke because the more you say that, that's what happens to you. And so I am very careful about like the things that I want to attract. Words are huge, and when you use abundant words, you get abundant things.
Yeah, that's why it's important, I think, to get a good understanding of the word abundance, right? And then start using those words because
Yeah.
words hold the power. They hold the vibration and the frequency that you want to match. And it tells the mind and the body and the emotions like how to experience abundance. How so the things that you express, your self expressions, become the reality based around whatever it is that you want, dream, and desire. So if your desire is to be abundant, then how will you express that? And we
Yeah.
primarily do it through words. We do it through nonverbal communication, through our facial expressions, through our body expressions, through our senses. That's how we primarily communicate. We can also communicate through the soul self, but that's probably another day. So you have to start looking at your what your definition is, or what your how you're really expressing what you want, dream, and desire to the universe. And it's done through the words.
And we have to make sure like what we're expressing actually matches what we really want, because a lot of times when they don't match, you're getting confusion. We think that we're attracting, this type of abundance, but really we're speaking this. So you have to make sure that what you actually want matches what you're actually speaking as well.
Yeah, that's where you need to get very, very clear about what you want, need, and desire. Because without that, it's you're just flipping from one lack to abundance to lack to abundance. You're on that emotional, mental roller coaster, and you never really get anywhere. It's like being in the hamster wheel, and you're just penetrating that circle all the time. You're never really going anywhere. So you
Yep.
really need to get clear and state it to the universe, write it down or speak it some way, somehow, so that you're dedicated. When you speak or you write something down, you become dedicated to it.
Yes.
Yeah, there's power in that dedication.
Yeah. You're completely right. Whether you write it down or speak it out, you're actually stating this is what I want,
Right.
instead of just having the thought and then you're back and forth. Well, maybe I want this, maybe I don't. When you really do want it, if you speak it or write it, it's like you're telling the universe in black and white, this is exactly what I want to happen.
Hmm. Yeah, there's no mishaps here. So, okay, so the next step then is when you state those kinds of things, be open to how they come to you. Like, be open at how they manifest, right? We don't want to narrow it so much that we expect it one way and we miss the opportunity that it comes in another way. It's like
Yes.
I want dream and desire $100,000 in the next 2 months. How it comes to me, I don't care. My only focus is the $100,000 in the next 2 months. It
Yes.
doesn't have to come through my business. It doesn't have to come through my husband's business. It can be a gift. It can be just the universe printing money for me. It can be like, who cares, right? I don't care how it comes.
Yeah.
When we bottleneck things into, well, 100 grand has to come from my business and my business only, then it will probably never manifest because you've narrowed the vision of it so much that that's all that you focus on. And when it comes to you as something else, you're going to miss the opportunity.
Yep. You can't expect it to come in exactly like you have it portrayed in your head. You have to be open because it could come to you in 10 different ways that you least expected.
Exactly, because the picture that the mind creates is only from your past experiences. And it knows that you need to work or you need to, get a gift from someone or you need to do this, that, or the other thing, right? And that's what it's trying to create for you. But the mind can never, your past and your mind will never create your future because it's always in the past. So what you want to do is you just
Yep.
want to focus on your desire and then let the universe deliver it to you. The next component is you trusting that it's going to actually happen and not have any of those lacking kind of emotions come in, like doubt or worry or depression or this isn't working right now in this moment, so I know this is never going to work kind of attitude. You really just
Yep.
need to trust and focus, trust and focus, trust and focus. Like that needs to be the plan.
Yep. You stating it and then completely letting it go and trusting that it's going to happen, that's when it
Mm-hmm.
happens. And if you
Right.
keep wondering how it's coming, how it's coming, how it's coming, you are literally blocking it by your thoughts of doubt that are coming in.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So first you have to look at your belief systems. Can you
So,
believe in abundance? Like that's the first thing, right? Can you believe in abundance? If you can't believe in abundance, then you need to go to your lacking belief systems and like work through them. Like, why can't you? Like, where did that come from? Is that really what you truly believe? And if it is, then how can you change it? Then you have to look at the words that you're using and do you really understand what you're looking for in abundance? Is it really like the truth of who you are? Are you expressing it? Are you, um, not, are you focusing on it? And then are you not focusing so much that you determine the outcome or your mind tries to create the outcome and you miss the opportunities of how it comes in? Because it's always going to come in from your side. It's never going to come in from your future or your past. It always comes in from the
yep.
left or right of you.
And if you are completely having trouble like getting started with this, one way that helped me get past actually paying it, just letting it go, was I would gratitude journal. And every single day I would write down, before I even got out of bed that day, of 10 things that I am so happy and grateful that, fill in the rest. I would write 10 things that day that I wanted to come to me. And even write down things that you want in the future, whether it's the greatest cup of coffee you're going to have that day, or you want $10,000 to go on a trip somewhere. I did this for almost a whole year, and it totally changes your mindset on focusing on the things that from what you don't want to bringing in what you actually do want in your life. And it helps you to just transform the mind of thinking from lack to what you actually want to bring to you.
Yes.
So
Very good.
one,
Gratitude
I actually,
is go ahead.
I did this. And when I first started, so an example is I was going to be going to Mexico in like 4 months, I think, after I started this. And I did not have the money to go. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I just completely trusted that this was the dollar amount that I wanted. And every day I would gratitude journal about that I was so happy and grateful that this was the dollar amount I had to go with me when I went to Mexico. Me and both my kids were going. And so I mean, you do worry, how am I going to get this? How am I going to get this? But I didn't. I just was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And literally by the time we left, I had exactly that dollar amount when we left that day. And that's when I really understood the power of manifesting whatever you want into your life, because I watched it happen. I have no idea how it happened. Like, it literally all just came to me. But the day we left, that is exactly the amount of money that I had when we left. It was
Yeah,
one
it's
of
a
the
great way
coolest
to
things I ever did. So,
yeah, exactly. It's a great way to build energy, right? like we talk about building energy, and gratitude
Yeah.
is one of the most amazing ways to manifest, by building energy of it. So perfect.
Yeah. So if you wanted a little bit of example, that is seriously somewhere easy for anybody to start. And if you don't want to do 10, don't do 10. Do 5. But starting that and literally watching your mind transform from lack to having everything that you want will completely change the way you think about lack versus abundance.
Yeah. Creating really strong mantras or really strong statements about who you are is also another great way, or about who you want to become. So, if you want to become a master manifester, then you have to start saying, you have to start saying that to yourself, and you just repeat it like in a mantra, or, something like that. Um, Over 5 or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. If you really want to amp things up, then do it for, do a gratitude journal with 50 things, right? Because you're building, just look at the vibration of that. Like you're building, 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 building energy, and that energy manifests much quicker than if you're just doing one or two. So if you're looking for the quick way,
Yes.
do more. Now, sometimes more is not,
Yeah.
right. So there's a point of, yes, you can do more, but the intention is to build energy to, pull it into you quicker. It's not to that you're just doing it just to do more, right? Like if you're just doing it to do more, don't do it, right? But if you're wanting
Yeah.
to
You
do
can't
it,
just
you
like
want
write
to
all the
go ahead.
Yeah, you can't just like write all your words and list all of it out on a piece of paper because it's never going to come to you. You literally have to feel it, see it, and know that it's going to happen and trust it. If you hold on to it and you're just like writing it and paying no attention and not giving it any type of energy, you're not going to get it back. But if you're bound and determined, like this is what I want, and you're dead set on that's what you're going to have, you have to see it, you have to know it, you have to trust it, and you have to believe it, and just let it go, and everything will come to you.
Yeah, and if you're really good at understanding your emotions, you can add your emotion to it, right? Like
Yes.
whatever, however you're gonna feel when you accomplish whatever it is that you want. Like what was the emotion that you had when you manifested the exact amount of money that you needed?
I was just so happy and thankful that I had it. And like when I would, like I could just feel like the happiness like within me all around me. And I was just you could feel the gratitude that you literally had that. And I did. I could see it and I could feel it. And you're totally right, where it changed the energy of it. And that's how I knew that I was going to have it because I could feel it every time I spoke about it.
Yeah, you have to be able to go into those deep felt emotions, not the superficial, well, this is going to feel great. Telling yourself that's going to feel great is not the same as actually feeling it. It's an energy, it's a
Yes.
frequency, it's a vibration that you're looking for. And that vibration, the frequency is what creates the abundance. That's what makes things manifest. It's the matching of those two energies. And then things just like they just happen. They just flow.
Yes. When you get it to happen, it's seriously the greatest feeling ever, and you will never, ever forget it. After that, anything is possible. The minute you do it once, you're like, this is super amazing. And you know how to do it from there on out, and it just happens.
Right. It's easy to repeat because you already know the process. So yeah, getting it to happen the first time is like is like winning the lottery.
Yes, it is. That's exactly how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I just won the consciousness award. Yeah.
Yes.
So don't make moving from lack to abundance a real hard process. It's it's really the transformation of the belief systems that is the key, and you do it through these exercises. Like changing the wordage that you use, right? Being in gratitude, feeling the emotion of it because you're trying to match a vibrational match. Let that be the focus. Like when you really want, dream, and desire something, there's a vibrational frequency that happens. That's what you're trying to stay in all the time. And these exercises can help either pull you in deeper to that and match that frequency so that it comes to you quicker, or if you're just staying on the surface with them, it'll take longer, and sometimes it won't even happen. The other huge thing is not to be super focused on a certain outcome. Just allow things to be created in the perfect alignment for who you are and who you're becoming.
Yes, absolutely.
So, great conversation today, as always.
Yes, that was awesome. I appreciate it. Everybody trying this, the gratitude journaling. And this is just what I personally did with my own self. And I'm telling you, do it for 30 days and you will actually be completely shocked at what you can change in your life. This is a really, really super simple exercise that takes you 10 minutes before you get out of bed every morning, and you will be floored at what it can do for you.
Yeah, for sure. And we'd love to hear from people once they try it, how it worked.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Reach out to us. Let us know what happened, what transformed for you, how your life changed from lack to abundance. We would love to hear all about that. People's stories are amazing to see that how far they have come on their own journey.
Yeah. We want to thank everyone for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing this space with us. We greatly appreciate all of our listeners. If you have a topic that you would like us to discuss or ask us about, please feel free to email me at ambermeg2@icloud.com. We would love to hear your questions. Until next time, from our soul to yours, have a super fantastic day.